Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick. I waited.
I waited for my dad to get home from work.
He was late.
He was always late.
I waited because I thought I heard something.
Tick tock, tick.
Tick tock.
Everyone was in the kitchen making dinner. My auntie, my cousins, and mom. I peeked out of my room and looked down the hall and saw my mom sitting in a chair. She was slumped over.
Mom was mad because Dad was late. You know, he was always late and she was left with all his kids.
Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick.
As soon as Dad walked in the house, she started to yell.
I don't even know what they were fighting about.
You were late.
Dad, today at school, we got to watch this cool movie about.
But then
Dad
started to yell.
And Dad just looked at me. And he pushed me back into my room.
And I shut my bedroom door.
And I just stood there. And I stepped out of my room.
And I put my hands over my ears.
And I put my headphones on.
And then they really started to yell. I didn't even know what they were fighting about.
And I turned up the music.
And then Dad, he picked up this knife off of the kitchen counter.
I was so scared.
I saw him raise his arm up high.
I couldn't see anything.
I couldn't see anything through the bedroom door. All I could do was just hear them yelling at each other.
It seemed like everything slowed way down.
He was going to hit her.
It didn't even sound like words anymore.
Sound like a pack of wild animals.
It sounded like feeding time after the zoo.
He raised the knife.
He raised his fist and he smashed into the wall. And he hit
And
her.
I pushed the screen out of my bedroom
And I
window.
knew what was happening out there.
And I jumped
And I
up.
ran to my neighbor's house and I told him what was going on. I said,
My dad was hitting my mom.
and the words sounded crazy to me, like they were coming from somebody else.
I dialed the phone.
1, 2, 3 times, and
911.
he ran out of the house. And I yelled, "No!"
And I waited.
For the police to show up.
It seemed to take forever.
And then everybody just started to clean up, like nothing had happened.
It seemed to take forever.
She pretended like nothing had happened.
I pretended like nothing had happened.
They pretended like nothing had happened. He turned to me and he said, "You're
And
next."
she never let me see her cry.
My mom cried, "No." They put up pictures of the holes in the wall, but I knew the holes were still there. I knew.
I knew.
Tick,
I watched.
I waited.
I asked why.
Tick tock.
but I knew. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick.
He told me he loved me every day, but only when no one else was around. And I believed him. So one night he called, said he needed a ride, said he was drunk. I pick him up, and he's got his hands all over me, and I'm trying to drive, so I tell him to stop. Suddenly, he slams my head against the steering wheel, over and over again. I pull over, and he punches me in the face. 1, 2, 3 times. I go home, blood everywhere, and my mom, she looked scared to death, but I told her I fell down the stairs. She almost believed me until I started crying. She knew, and I knew. I needed help.